वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धियतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, warm welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us in this study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and thank you for helping me understand Bhagavad Gita and find more relish in it. So we continue our studies, chapter 6, and Harsha Diksha, if you can bring up chapter 6, and we just will see the translation of text 33, which we read yesterday, and then we'll move on from text 34 today. But I just want to read the translation of 33 once again. So, chapter 6 on Dhyan Yoga, on mind control, which is so required in this day and age to have a calm, peaceful, clear mind, and clean as well. Clean and clear mind is very good. Clean and clear body is good, that's nice, but then something should be done for the mind as well, to have a clean and clear mind as well. So it is, we saw previously, right, that Arjuna is kind of questioning that the yoga system which Krishna told Arjuna. We hear in text 11 to 14, I believe. Krishna tells Arjuna of the Ashtanga Yoga system, Hatha Yoga system, or this yoga system, wherein uh, yoga, essentially, the meaning of yoga is to connect with Krishna, to be in union. Now, connect with whom? Not the body with the body. To unite what? Not the body with the body. Not the body with the mind. Not ourselves with the mind, intelligence. No. It is a connection between us and Krishna, the living entities and the source of us, Krishna, in Bhagwan Swarup altogether. And by connection, we understand connection or union. It can happen only out of love, not out of duty or any other emotion, only out of love. And love by default means actually pure love. Thing is, we live in a mundane world of the three modes of material nature of this duality relative world. So that is why we do not experience or we do not understand what real love is. So we have to use words like real love, pure love. But love in its origin is all real, all pure only. So that is yoga. Essentially, yoga is to fall in love with Krishna, to fall in complete love with Krishna. Uh, and so Krishna, that's the real union, that's the real connection. So we'll see in the screen as well, text 33, where Arjuna asks Krishna that the science of yoga, which you described previously earlier on, appears a bit practical, uh, as in the science what Krishna described earlier on in this chapter itself, that uh, Arjuna first of all find a place of seclusion. Now, find a quiet place. Now, where do we find a quiet place? It's very difficult to find a quiet place in this day and age. So find a quiet place and go in that quiet place with no internet, with no WhatsApp, with no YouTube, Facebook, and all. And go in that quiet place and then mm, come up with a proper mat and put that mat to sit upon. And your chair, your position shouldn't be too high or too low. The mat should be of a particular quality. The grass around that forest area should be of a particular quality, say. And then sit down with your eyes not fully closed, half open, not to fall asleep, so that, and observing at the tip of your nose. These are some of the external kind of things to check out. Solitary, quiet place, and then furthermore, developing sense of mind control and sense control. Mm, Having gained full supremacy, say, or good supremacy, if not full as well, not full, very good supremacy over mind and senses, and not swayed in by the dictations of the mind for sense gratification, music, food, eating, shopping, roaming, all such things. The list is unending, say. And practicing celibacy, yeah, observing celibacy. So that ways revival of one's identity, lots and lots of strong purification and revival of one's identity. Uh, and then focus your mind, bring your mind in the super soul, Paramatma, Vishnu residing within our hearts, and then connect. So, on this proposal, Arjuna in text 33, we should see he's refuting. He's saying uh, that he's refuting. He's saying that it's difficult for me to practice Krishna. I cannot practice. I cannot bring this up. Do this yoga practice in this day and age. And who is saying this? Arjuna. We'll see the response. What Arjuna responds. That yeah, certainly he says like it's impractical. This yoga system, what you propounded, the philosophy which you're saying, and then also it is impractical and something not feasible for me. Something not feasible for me. And further on, he goes on saying that no, the mind is so difficult or to tame or to look after. We'll see what exactly he says. And the whole kind of the practice, mantra meditation, this is what mantra meditation means, right? Mantra, na? Mantra means manastrayate iti mantra. So that which delivers the mind, that which clears the mind, that which transports the mind, transforms the mind. From what? From confusion to clarity, from say depression to complete hope. Say. This is the transition Arjun went through. He was in a state of hopelessness. Uh, We will find, again I say, we will find our charm in Bhagavad Gita more and more when we understand a bit of the context, or when we understand Arjuna's situation or position. What Arjuna's emotion is, what is he going through. Then we can see such a great, huge transformation Arjuna went through. So when we actually see what he says in first chapter, Arjuna's heart, if we can tune into Arjuna's heart, then we will find more appreciation, inspiration in Bhagavad Gita study. So we see that Arjuna says what? That finally he surrenders and is very hopeless, complete hopeless, shattered altogether, broken. He's questioning his own identity. Such a state is questioning, why do I exist? What do I do? Why am I? That's so heavy. So Arjuna comes into a state of complete hopelessness. And then Krishna, in that state of hopelessness, the best thing Arjuna does is he surrenders. He reveals his heart to Krishna. He summons to Krishna. He tells Krishna that Krishna, it is beyond me. You kindly help, kindly intervene, kindly do something, kindly help me out. And then Krishna starts speaking. So Arjuna allows Krishna that Krishna, I take your shelter, and please speak and speak something which is not good for me, uh, just from this life or just for the war or the duration of the war, uh, which is not just like a short-lived something good for me. Speak or do something, say something which is good for me forever. Sort me out forever, not just for this war situation. So uh, then we see Arjuna in such a shattered hopelessness state, complete hopelessness state. Then he asks Krishna to speak something, do something, and Krishna starts speaking. And when Krishna starts speaking, Arjuna will see towards the end. Arjuna finds endless hope, endless hope. So this transition, this journey from hopelessness to endless hope is what Bhagavad Gita's journey is. And this journey Arjuna went through, and the same journey we all can go through as well. We all can go through, and we have to go through. If not this life, another life, some life, for sure, for sure. So, in this life as well, those who are practicing, they can see the transformation. They can see. So we are blessed. Definitely, we are very blessed to be in devotee association, mm, finding our resolve in Bhagavad Gita somewhat to some extent. And now thing is to continue being blessed, to continue being blessed. So Bhagavad Gita is a journey, real journey of hopelessness to endless hope. A person who loses hope is as good as that, right? Who loses motivation, spark, charm in life. And one who is motivated, for him, he's never old. One who is motivated, inspired, encouraged, always hopeful, who has got endless hope, how can he be old? No, he's never old. So, hearing from Krishna the message and this dialogue, and it's not at all a one way dialogue. It's not at all a one way dialogue. So, hearing this dialogue with Arjuna and discussing, revealing his heart, hearing from Krishna, there was this huge transformation. And this is something we can also explore for ourselves. Explore. We discussed a bit before, right? That Krishna told clearly that I won't fight in this war. I won't pick up any arms. I won't. Because Krishna knew picking up arms wasn't the way to purify or send the message across. Yeah. Krishna does everything to purify everything. Krishna is supremely pure. Everything is done. He does is supremely pure. So had Krishna picked up arms, I mean, the war would not have lasted 2 minutes even. Everything would have been sorted. But Krishna didn't take that route. No, because the message, the purity doesn't come about. Purification wouldn't come about if he just. This is why we see many actually. The style of preaching in Krishna consciousness is very different. It's not a very, yeah. It's not at all um, like the practice of Krishna consciousness makes us very relish life. Huh? Relish, as they say, what? See the bright side of life. Something like that, right? We heard of this earlier. Seeing the bright side of life or seeing the bright side of what life gives to us. So, the practice of Krishna consciousness makes us appreciate life even more, makes us appreciate nature even more and everything. uh, And also, it makes us appreciate death way even more, way even more than appreciating life. Yeah. A practicing devotee, he appreciates life certainly, he appreciates death as well, passing away even more. And he sees the bright side of life and the brightest side of afterlife or the brightest side of death, the gift that has come to offer us. That gift, that gift. So it is going through this journey, understanding our identity, who we are, what we are. When we are in touch with Krishna through his words, wisdom, when we are in touch, connection, union with Krishna through japa, through chanting his holy names, mantra meditation, through his devotees, through having his darshan, kirtan and all, then we all are transporting ourselves to a life of endless hope. And this is something which we have to personally experience. So it is Krishna only who first picked up the weapon, right? And the weapon of what? The tongue. So it's not like going out holding some cards or taking guns and uh, uh, in the practice of Krishna consciousness, hardly the word conversion will find in Vedic literatures, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam or settings. Hardly, it's not like this conversion is what, like it's more on a material platform, okay, converting one's designation or some sort of identity. More than conversion, it's complete transformation of one's heart. That is what Krishna wanted. He didn't want to convert someone at gunshot, at arrow shot, that no, take me, accept me as God, or uh, no, that's not the way. Or neither he wanted to convert or someone through some bribery. Oh, I will give you money, woman, wine, everything will be at your disposal, and all just you agree on to me. No, that's not the way. So Krishna used his tongue, power of speech, and through his speaking, he transformed millions, trillions, and millions, trillions are getting transformed, can get transformed. That's the real change we want to see. That's the real conversion, say. That's the change. That's the transformation we want to see. A change of heart, more kindness, more simplicity, more compassionate, more consideration in our heart. That is what we want to see. So we'll see. Maybe we can go text 34 straight. Any thoughts, questions, or comments if anyone has? Otherwise, maybe we can see text 34. So this is Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna speaking. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva suduskaram. So maybe next text we can see 34. Alia or Sophia, would either of you be okay to read translation, and uh, either of you again can share the purport?
Sophia doesn't want to.
Say again?
Okay. Translation. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think is more difficult than controlling the wind. Purport. The mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence. Although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence, for a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium toward both friend and enemy, but ultimately, while the mind
Alia,
can be
maybe the speed could be reduced a bit. Mm, I tend to be more focused or kind of when it's at a slightly lesser speed, please.
okay. For this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the Vedic literature, Katha Upanishad, it is said,
Yeah, Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. Shariram Ratham Evacha. Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi. Mana Pragraham Evacha. Indriyani Hayanahor. Vishyam Steshu Gocharan. Atmendriya Manoyuktam. Bhokte tu Ahur Manishina.
the individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument and the senses are the horses. Um, the self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in the association of the mind and senses. So it is understood by great thinkers. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence, as an acute infection may surpass the efficacy of medicine. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by the practice of yoga. But such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjuna. And what can we say of a modern man? The simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. The easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Caitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance, in all humility. The method prescribed is Save Mana Krishna Padaraving Deo. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagements to agitate the mind. That's the end, sorry.
Yeah, read the translation once again.
The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind.
Oh, how did you find the translation and purport?
Um, I agree with it.
Yeah, look, this is Arjuna saying, and who such a qualified, scholarly, learned, cultured. Okay, the screen can be removed, turned off. Such a qualified, scholarly, learned uh, person, very cultured, very civilized, tremendously, everything. So it wasn't that he didn't knew scriptures. It wasn't that he wasn't pious religious. No, he was pious religious. Everything. It's him saying this thing. And when 5,000 years ago, what to speak in this time and age? This is where the message is very contemporary, very relevant. So it is called as timeless wisdom. And it's completely non-sectarian. Completely. This is applicable for a child, man, a woman, different age group, isn't it? Different income group, different educational group, different skin color, different places of residence, different nationality, whatnot. So this is Arjuna saying the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. So some, I mean, there are two persons, kinds of persons who should practice Krishna consciousness. First kind is whose mind are very slow to grasp things. They should practice Krishna consciousness. That will harness the mind definitely. Second class is whose mind is very sharp, very agile, very fast moving. They should practice Krishna consciousness. That will bring their mind again to a good calmness. So essentially what I mean to say is directly, indirectly, everyone. We wouldn't find a single person, I've told many a times. Bring us one single person who you can find and say, okay, this person cannot practice Krishna consciousness, should not practice Krishna consciousness, cannot practice Krishna consciousness because of such and such reason. There could be hundreds and thousands of excuses to not practice or leave practice, to not explore, to not understand Krishna consciousness in an unbiased, with an open mind, without some preconceived notion. There could be hundreds and thousands of excuses to not explore, understand get oneself introduced and practice Krishna consciousness again with an unbiased, without any preconceptions. So, the, uh, but we wouldn't find a single reason that someone can come up and say, this, currently this world population is what, 8 billion, something or around that lines, whatever the world population be currently. We wouldn't find a single person who could claim and say, no, for such and such reason, this person cannot practice Krishna consciousness or should not practice Krishna consciousness. If you have any reason, let us know. So far, in my tiny bit of understanding, tiny bit of experience, and hearing from devotees and seeing devotees, I could never decipher, I could never come up that what could be any argument or reason for someone to say not to explore, not to practice, not to find one results in Krishna consciousness. Excuse could be plenty, uncountable. So many times when we go out book distribution, it's such a great activity actually. It helps us connect with the society and gauge the meter, the pulse of the society. So going out in books, meet many people, and many say, okay, no, my mind, it's too fast. I have a very active mind, so I need to go for running. I need to go for some physical exercise. I'm constantly on the move. I'm constantly on the move. I'm such an active person. I cannot stay still. I cannot stay calm, quiet, and all. I need some buzz altogether, even though without drinking Red Bull, I'm very active. uh, So there are people who are super active, say, but if even if they are super active, this will help. Practice of Krishna consciousness will help bring more clarity, bring more sanity, bring more calmness in one's mind. And Arjuna, he was in this war, right? Such a super active position. You cannot just be idle in a war, right? There's no time can never be lost. See, through this practice of Krishna consciousness, through Arjuna agreeing to practice Krishna consciousness, he managed time management, he managed mind management. He managed time management because how could you do time management in, you have to manage time in a war, right? So many arrows being thrown at you, continuously assessing the war situation, plots and all, attack, counter attack, what to do, all these things, and never get disheartened. So Arjuna, through the um, going through the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, hearing from Krishna by Krishna's blessings, as a as a residual effect, he managed time management so nicely. He managed mind management so nicely, stress management, anger management so nicely, tremendously beautifully. So thing is, externally he didn't need to as such go for any coaching, any uh, other sessions or something. Uh, He gave great oral reception to the message of Krishna, great oral reception, and everything fell in place. Likewise, if we also follow in Arjuna's footsteps, we'll find things falling in place. And the whole practice is, then how can we, just like someone may say, I have a very active mind. So how can that active mind be put to good use? Put to good use. So someone may say, I have a dull mind, practice Krishna consciousness. This will harness the mind definitely. Someone say, I have a very agitated active mind, practice Krishna consciousness. This will calm still the mind. And again, see, the mind doesn't like being still. The mind doesn't like being silent. Mind needs engagement. Mind likes some engagement. And this is what mantra meditation, when we chant on beats, especially Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the mind is getting such a good engagement and a response. And that super active mind can easily be tuned in super actively chanting Hare Krishna. Someone said having maybe saying a bit of a slow mind, dull mind, not so super active mind, then chanting Hare Krishna, one can harness one's mind. And that's not the purpose though. It's not the purpose is not to harness my mind. That's definitely required. That's definitely a step, a thing. But that's not the real aim. Real aim is to fall in love with Krishna, eh, to be in a loving relationship. That is what yoga is. Yoga means love. Love, for love, it has to be two, lover and the beloved, the soul and Krishna. So someone having an active mind can find through this, and someone having uh, uh, this a bit of not so active mind can also find one resolve in uh, Bhagavad Gita. And continuing something, say, uh, we hear this, right? There's a idle mind is a devil's workshop, right? An ideal mind is a devil's workshop. खाली दिमाग शैतान का घर. But a question which we asked before as well. So a filled mind, not idle, an active mind. A filled mind, does it become a mm, God's workshop, angel's workshop? हाँ, खाली दिमाग शैतान का घर, ठीक है. ओके, वी सी दैट. भरा हुआ दिमाग क्या भगवान का घर बन जाता है क्या? भरा हुआ दिमाग क्या देवी देवता का घर बन जाता है क्या? So this is a question. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. Fine, we understand that. We acknowledge that. But can we acknowledge? Do we acknowledge कि a filled mind, अगर खाली दिमाग शैतान का घर है तो उसको भर दो, तो क्या वो भगवान का घर बन जाएगा क्या? Any thoughts? Diksha, Harsha, Neha, Anuradha, others, any thought?
No, I don't think there is any such guarantee that it could be that. So,
Yeah, even I think a filled mind not necessarily be like a pure mind. It can be a very your thoughts can be very stressful. Uh, you think too much about everything, and that may like with that in mind, you cannot do Krishna consciousness.
ऐसा नहीं है. If someone's mind is a bit idle, nothing to do, okay, then creating havoc. And someone who has got good engagement, is he not creating havoc? You know, the person who say invented or discovered or worked out AK-47, don't remember his name now, but I think he himself quoted something. He himself stated later on that what have I introduced in this world? What have I revealed? What have I brought about in this world? Uh, so this will create so much havoc. And actually, the way wars are now being conducted, the way guns, ammunitions, and whatnot technology is used alone, it's such a. Is it an idle mind? No, active mind only, right? Active mind. But is it not being like a devil's workshop? Doesn't idle mind or filled mind? Materially, we have to idle our mind actually. Materially, we have to empty our mind. Materially, we do not have to associate. Our mind shouldn't be associating with matter. Our mind shouldn't be identifying matter. Our mind shouldn't be, yeah, connecting with matter. And spiritually, we have to fill our mind completely. Spiritually, we have to fill our mind completely. So idle mind, okay, yeah, it is understandable a devil's workshop, but a filled mind actually can be even more dangerous if we do not fill our mind with proper food, with proper substance, proper love, care, engagement. So many discoveries, and later on we uh, we feel so sorry. Oh, what have I brought about? Same this AK-47. That look what killing at mass scale. So much now with advancement in the name of advancement. So much at mass scale destruction is happening. And the biggest destruction which is happening is killing of the soul, killing of the culture altogether, of this loving culture, the non-sectarian mood, the complete non-sectarian identity. The soul carries real, genuine compassion, kindness, all that is being very much on the down in Kali Yuga. And this is what Arjuna is experiencing, or he's saying that such a great warrior archer, but he's saying that I can control the wind, but cannot control my mind. It's more difficult than controlling the wind. Now, for how difficult it is for us, we don't know, like many people, they don't even discover or realize that the mind needs doing something, that the mind needs some other engagement, that we are caught up all together. We are so happy, or we are so settled in our current daily monotonous routine lifestyle, and all with the material mental agenda. Yeah, it's a very set schedule, set routine, typical life. Go to school, then study, play some sports and all, then some other activities, school, then go for get prepare yourself for college, uni, have some friends, relationships, then look for a job, start making money, partner, house, wife, children, further on grandchildren and all. Very typical. And in this, no time and scope actually. Maya is someone who keeps us engaged, heavily busy, or keeps us idle, but everything engrossed in matter. So we don't get time and space for a good thinking, for any introspection, for any checking, for trying to tune ourselves with reality, unless, until and unless we come across Bhagavad Gita, uh, japa, chanting, some spiritual practice. And most importantly, when we come across saintly people, until unless we come across saint sadhus, saintly people, very difficult to have a revival in our consciousness. We cannot have that revival in our consciousness then. So Prabhupada used to say there are four categories of, say, mind or personalities. With these four categories of mind, say, we can see in this world. Huh? One is what? Uh, Someone who is, say, this lazy intelligent. Someone who is lazy but intelligent. Someone who is lazy but fool. Then someone who is busy, intelligent, and busy but fool. So someone who is, say, someone who is busy, intelligent, busy, fool, lazy, intelligent, lazy, fool. These four categories, Prabhupada said. Very nice. Prabhupada's classes are amazing. We should listen, and of course, we should go through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all his writings and commentaries, his teachings and learnings. Such a great contribution he has given beyond description. So four categories we find, right? Ourselves we can check where do we fall in. So someone like busy fool, and busy intelligent, lazy fool and lazy intelligent. So busy fool meaning, okay, it's not a smart person, not not a culturally very evolved, culturally, intellectually very evolved, in wisdom, wiseness, cleanliness, sanity, not so evolved, no, in those parameters. So he's a fool in those parameters, but very busy, very busy. Busy in what? Studies or sports or job or making money, or like artists, celebrities. They have such a busy schedule. Politicians, so busy schedule. So someone who is busy but a fool. hmm? Fool in the sense doesn't know the workings of the mind, who am I, body or soul, or the aim and objective of life, and so much so that no good sense of cleanliness, not consider it, doesn't consider it, considers other situation, partner situation, husband, wife situation, children's, grandparents, parents, society, who's completely unaware of all this cultural behavior, social etiquettes and all. So, but someone very busy. So busy fool. Then what? Busy intelligent. He is very busy. No time. Very active, very busy in doing something. And same time he's very intelligent as well. Very intelligent. So, and someone lazy fool. Very lazy. Very difficult to make him work. And fool as well on top of that. And someone lazy, very lazy, very difficult again to get him work, but intelligent, very wise, very intelligent, but lazy. Now, of these four categories, think over it. May not answer right now. Maybe we can discuss later in our another sessions. But think over it. Maybe we'll discuss another session only. So, busy fool, busy intelligent, lazy fool, lazy intelligent. Which, if you have to grade, which is the best? Which is the second best, the third best, and say we can say fourth best, or which is the worst, starting from best to worst, which one? So if you feel very prompted to speak now, then speak now, share now. And also if you can see some personalities who fit in these categories, as in sports person and others and all, where do even devotees, where do society fits, society as a whole. Do you think society as a whole is busy fool? Society as a whole is busy intelligent? Society as a whole is lazy fool or lazy intelligent? So this will really should make us pause and think, in our day-to-day life as well. Whatever we are doing and all, it will make us pause and should make us think that this activity which I am doing, or what I'm thinking or planning or desiring to do, is it a busy fool's activity? Am I being a busy fool? Am I being busy intelligent? Am I being lazy fool? Am I being lazy intelligent? And if we can check ourselves on these parameters and all, then we will be having a shift, in our lifestyle, in our personality, and we will be saving so much of time, so much of energy, getting more clarity, more confidence, and avoiding so many mistakes and pitfalls in the life. So many struggles unnecessary, so many chaos unnecessary. We won't be entertaining, we won't be allowing those chaos to come to us. This is how harnessing our mind through spirituality, through practicing Krishna consciousness, through japa, mala, kirtan, studying of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, we can change the course of our karma. This is how we can change the course of our karma, because our karma will bring us something. That by karma we maybe have to be living in California, America, uh, very strong heavy place. Believe Silicon Valley is near and all, something places like that, wherever. And such and such things, good or bad, materially speaking, relatively speaking, might have to come in our life. We have to see them definitely. But by assessing the things and situations, busy intelligent, busy fool, lazy intelligent, lazy fool, I can change the course of my karmic action. I need not get that overwhelmed or underwhelmed by the situation, by the repercussions, by the reactions. I can maintain sanity, and this is how we grow. And then one day I can come to practicing even more firmly. There's no high, there's such a great joy in seeing others grow and seeing oneself grow. Huh? Seeing oneself grow. Arjuna grew, na? Others grew. So in seeing ourselves grow, but the growth can be observed only when we do something about it, when we act, when we practice. Otherwise, in just theory, there is no growth. In speaking, there is no growth. We wouldn't find any person. People like sharing knowledge. No, people like giving so much of knowledge and all. But it's mere information in the name of knowledge. Ask people are ready to speak, go on and on politics, on Bollywood, on songs, on cricket. They have such an opinion. So opinionated we are, as if we know also so much. So we want to say we want, but this such of theories and opinionated doesn't help. Real change would come about when we act spiritually. Then only real change will come out. Otherwise, it is just we are so influenced by the modes of material nature, passionately will speak or just casually, loosely. And in our conditioned mind, conditioned state, we cannot think any wise. No. In conditioned state, see, given a choice to a conditioned soul, no? Given an option for him to seek or speak or to make some judgment or to formulate or to say something, he's bound to make the wrong choice only. Bound to make the incorrect statement, incorrect judgment. He's bound to go towards temporary. He's bound to go towards Maya only. If a conditioned soul is given freedom, he's bound to go towards Maya only, choose Maya only. But if a conditioned soul gets the association of a devotee, then he can change the course of his life and go towards Krishna. Yeah. So this, but if we listen to his classes, listen to his writings and all, go through his writings, commentaries, teachings, we should assess and check where do we fit in, busy fool, lazy fool, busy intelligent or lazy intelligent. So maybe tomorrow let us know. We can discuss further next sessions and would be nice to hear from you all. Busy fool, busy intelligent, lazy intelligent. And this is a chart. If we can draw, if we can write more on it, think more on it, and all this to assess ourselves only, to check ourselves. We are not here to pinpoint on someone, to show anyone down or to pinpoint or no, no one is at fault. It is me who is at fault. My mind is at fault. I need to correct my mind. You know what the society teaches? Society teaches us a passionate society we live in, right? So the society teaches us what? That act first, think later. Thinking will come later, or what is there to think? Just act, just do it, just do it. Ah, act first, think later, or with very minimal thinking, very quick thinking, and which is our thinking is also on mundane level. Na? It's not of a spiritual. We do not think spiritually. We do not have that spiritual thoughts or understanding. Do we see others as spirit soul? Do we see ourselves as spirit soul? Do we see everything and everyone belonging to Krishna? So we do not have that consciousness level. We do not carry that energy or put. And so the world is where we live is how is it driven? Say action only. Act first, think later. Thinking will come, or no point thinking as well. Leave thinking. But Krishna consciousness will teach us what? That think first, then act. Yeah? Think first, think wise, then act wisely as well. If we think wise, we'll act wisely as well. But society does not know what is wisdom. Society only knows information, cheap glory, short lived. So we act based on information, we will find saturation. Soul will find saturation in pure knowledge, not in some cheap information. So if we take cheap information on board, then we will be living on a complaint zone. We will be troubled every now and then by the ups and downs. But if we come to platform of Krishna consciousness, we'll be happily tolerating. Tatya anukampam susamikshamanom. Na Brahmaji prays to Krishna only or to glorifies Krishna in Brahma Stuti, chapter 14, canto 10, text 8. He prays that uh, a conditioned soul or soul, a living entity who genuinely considers, who has realized that whatever is happening is because of my karmic reaction, and one who patiently tolerates it, does the needful, No, tolerate doesn't mean Arjuna was also trying to tolerate. No, that Krishna, let us tolerate this war. Let us not get engaged in this war if it is happening. We walk away. No? But that's not the message. No? Silence is also violence. Sometimes silence can be violence, and sometimes speaking is also violence. So we need to assess and understand when to speak, what to speak, how much to speak, when not to speak, when to stay silent, for how long to stay silent, why to stay silent. So when we understand Krishna, when we know Krishna, we will know the workings of this world, we'll know the workings of our mind, everything we'll know, whatever we need to know. Krishna will reveal everything to us. Just we need to bring Krishna at the front. So the world teaches us act first, think later. But Krishna teaches, here he's teaching Arjuna everything, right? That think first. Prepare your thoughts nicely. No, this is why the morning time is so important to cash in the morning time. Wake up early, do japa. That will enhance our thinking capacity. Then from 9 a.m., 8 a.m., world starts acting, right? Children start going to school, offices, everything. So at that point onwards, we start acting. Then again, winding up, doing a reflection, more thinking, remembering Krishna. So start your day with japa either, end your day with reading. Start your day with reading, end your day with hearing. Fill the day with reading, hearing, chanting. That is the food for the mind. This sort of food we need to give. That's how mind can be subdued, or mind will find resolve. Otherwise, we will also have this question. And such a question actually doesn't come to us as well because we are in so much sleeping state. We are in such slumber, deep slumber. We don't even realize how turbulent, restless our mind is, obstinate it is, how strong it is, how fickle, how difficult to subdue it is. All know. It doesn't budge us. We don't care. If at all it comes, it is very short lived also. Sometimes we get questions and all life questions. Who am I? Who is God? Why is there suffering? Why is there inequality? Oh, my mind is killing me. But then very soon we come back to our normal, our condition state. Again, we end up doing the same thing. We take vows. Okay, from now on, I won't swear. I won't uh, quickly get angry. I won't lie. I won't cheat. I won't do backbiting. I won't manipulate with accounts, manipulate with money. But the next day or others day, back to normal. So much thing because the transformation, change of heart has not taken place. We have not realized our real identity, even theoretically, our relationship with Krishna, with devotees. So beautiful it says, right, in the purport. Uh, we have to face so many opposing elements again in this world. We have to face literally lots and lots of opposing. So the mind needs to be sharp, controlled, harnessed. There's this story, right? Devotees share. We know what a person. He was quite skillful, quite good, say, and he was uh, wanting to cut a tree. So he said, "I need an axe." That's a good thing to begin with. To cut a tree, we cannot cut it with knife or hands. No, we need an axe. So that's a great start. He asked for an axe. So take your axe, cut the tree now. So he started cutting the tree. And what is he doing? He wants to completely go on cutting the tree. 9 to 5. I will cut the tree in 9 to 5. There's another person. He also been told cut the tree. Same size pretty much. So he also asks for X. Oh, now what he's doing? He's cutting the tree, but after 1 hour, after 2 hour, he's harnessing his axe. The spade, the axe, the tool, the instrument which he's using, he's sharpening it. And then again he's going to cut the tree. He's continuing. Then after sharpened his axe, he will continue cutting the tree. So the first person says, "Oh, you are just wasting your time." Nothing happens. All this is bogus. Mm. All this is not required. Just work hard. I'm committed. I'm loyal. I'm determined. I'm hardworking. Put in efforts. And he's Lagero Munnabai type. He's carrying on, trying to cut the tree with the axe, but he's not sharpening the axe. 2 hours fine, 3 hours fine, 4 hours fine, and then he's applying so much of efforts, but nothing is happening. And that other person, 2 hours he cut, 3 hours he cut, then he sharpened the axe. Then again he started cutting. Then again he sharpened the axe and started cutting. So the first person, he just ended up 1 day, 2 day doing the same thing. Hmm? पेड़ काटना है लग गया काटने भाई. He's not applying his brain, he's not thinking na. That's what, this is how we act. We are very instantaneous, we are very instinct driven. So, oh, we need to cut a tree, okay, where's the axe, give me the axe. And he started cutting the tree. The other person, okay, we need to cut the tree. He figured it out, all the things in his head very realistically, got the axe, and then time to time he was sharpening the axe, and he managed to cut the tree very neatly, smoothly, without any trouble to himself or anyone else, in good time. So, likewise in our life as well, before we take on to opportunities, before we jump into it, before we just start acting, before we make some decision or go into some agreement, some partnership and all, we should think. And in day to day, we should take out time to sharpen our mind as well. Just that this person, he was sharpening the axe, and the other person was saying, right, oh, what what are you doing? There's no need to sharpen the axe. Just carry on cutting the tree. Look, I'm so determined, I'm so strong. I'm making hard efforts. Just make hard efforts. All this nothing bogus and all mind control. People laugh. People laugh. Many people. Oh, you practice Krishna consciousness. Huh? Many youngsters actually, they find, oh yeah, they kind of a bit make fun as well, right? Some youngsters and all, growing up kids or youngsters. Oh, oh, मम्मी you practice Krishna consciousness, मम्मी आप मम्मी की उम्र में दादी बन गई हो. Huh? At the age of this age, you are acting like a granny. A granny. This all suits to a granny. What are you doing now? Why are you doing this? Many family members of the devotees even like, is everything okay? So someone starts chanting japa, then family members raise their eyebrows. Is everything okay with you? Health okay? What job you're having some problem in job? Do you want more money? Then why are you doing all this? It's not like when we are, I mean, a intelligent person, he shouldn't wait so much that he's kicked so much by Maya, he's so much in stress, and then come to temple. Come early, Baba. Start chanting early. Start taking Krishna consciousness in our life early. Why do we have to go through so much of suffering, and when we go through so much of suffering, our back would be broken, right? When we go through physical suffering, we have back pain, then oh, back is paining. Likewise, when we go through so much of mental traumas or suffering unwanted in life because of impurified desires, expectations, impure mind, uncontrolled mind, then we would lose stamina. We will not have the right stamina, the right spirit to continue further. Okay? So it is very essential to sharpen our axe from time to time. So on a daily basis, we should chant in the morning, read something in lunchtime, then evening time, listen to kirtan, bedtime, listen to a class and go to sleep. All this has to be accommodated. Reading, hearing, chanting has to be accommodated in our daily lives. A doctor, just someone who has studied medicine and all, and certified by the authority, just that does not make him a doctor, right? Then he has to practice. Suppose someone has been authorized, studied and all, but he's not practicing, will we go to such a doctor? No. Baba, he studied 5 years back, but for 5 years he's not practicing since he studied. We wouldn't go to him for asking for some treatment or surgery, definitely not. Likewise, someone is into accounts, but he has stopped working as an account. Will we go to him? No. So, we as well, for us, we have to put the philosophy into practice. Yeah. Theoretically, we know, learn, and all, and the world has so much of, again, knowledge, deemed knowledge, which is actually in the name of information only. So we need to take the real knowledge and apply, put it into practice. World will throw many things at us on a daily basis. So we need to arm ourselves. Huh? Similar like doctor when he goes for a surgery, he wears gloves, mask, everything. Washes hands, uh, proper dress to save himself, protect himself externally and through every angle, every aspect. Say. Likewise, a doctor, this soldier as well. It's not like just he wakes up and takes a drink and off he goes for war. No, discipline is very important. Uh, How many soldiers get to go into war? Very few, generally speaking. But they train daily. They have to train daily. Wake up early in the morning, go to bed, follow that routine schedule. Some days they have to do night shifts, so no sleeping in the night. Some days day shift, so waking up early, following a good uniform schedule, routine, fitness, everything. And don't know if they will be going to war or not, but prepared, na? Likewise, we don't know what war we could be facing, but we have to prepare ourselves. We have to. So we have to spiritually become enlivened. We have to spiritually become enlightened. We have to take on the message of Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, study, chant the holy name of Krishna, listen to Kirtan, attend discourses. Then we can see ourselves growing. And no higher joy than seeing someone grow or seeing ourselves grow. Such a relish will be there. And artificially doesn't help, artificially making some arrangement doesn't help. Intelligence is superior, but mind is overpowering. So beautifully in this purport only, no, that diagrammic expression or picture Prabhupada paints. And we see this in books also. We can see the picture in some books. So this picture, right? That a chariot. Imagine a chariot, 5 horses, and the reins. There's a driver seated in the chariot. Then the chariot and the passenger is seated behind. Now, this is the chariot of our life. What the horses are like the 5 senses: eyes, nose, ear, tongue, huh? Hands, legs, just like the 5 senses, the 5 horses, and the reins, the ropes of those 5 horses is our mind. The chariot driver is the intelligence. uh, the chariot is the body, the chariot, and the soul, the passenger is the soul. Now see, senses naturally want to move. Horses, now they want to move. Now imagine 5 horses if they move in 5 directions. Wow, the passenger will be up and down. He will be in tears altogether. What a roller coaster ride would the passenger be having if the 5 horses go in 5 directions? Likewise, we are pulled by our senses in different directions. Now the senses want to be loose, casual. They want to be free, dissuaded. But it is the mind who has to control the senses. The ropes of the horses, they have to be controlled, tackled, and brought in line. And for that, the driver, the intelligence has to be very strong, very sharp. Then the passenger can have a smooth ride. Can have a smooth ride. Now, see, we have been blessed with a good physical body, but the senses are also fine. But if the mind is not controlled, if the mind is not chaste, then this good body, physical body, and the senses will wander here and there. And And the passenger, the soul proper, will experience so much of upheaval in life. So it is of utmost requirement importance to control our mind, to understand our mind, to make friends with our mind, to pacify, calm our mind, to give spiritual proper food and engagement to the mind, eh, to train the monkey mind to a monk's mind. That's the transformation, the journey we want. Any thoughts, questions, or comment? Mind cannot stay really still. Mind needs engagement, which is good. Yeah. So when we start doing japa, chanting on beads, listening to kirtan, then the outside world is full of distraction. But by keeping ourselves in the circle, in the cycle, in the zone of, in that vibration, in that spiritual vibration, that outside world's noise, that outside world dictations, desires, and attraction will not be penetrating and cutting ourselves if we are encircling ourselves with this spiritual sound vibration of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That should be our protector, our this guard, our Raksha Kavach, our helmet. Yeah. So if we protect ourselves throughout with the sound vibration, then the external world, external thoughts, distractions, material identities and all will not be able to penetrate. And this we have to train on a daily basis our mind in the morning, in the daytime, in the evening, in the night time. बोलिए Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So today we discussed a question which I will ask tomorrow. Let me know. So four kinds of people, right? Busy fool, lazy fool, busy intelligent, lazy intelligent. Four kinds of people we see in society. Some busy fool, busy intelligent, lazy intelligent. So if you can identify, associate, or say like, yeah, such sort of personality, busy fool, what are the traits of a busy fool, what are the traits of a lazy fool, and if we can, for our awareness, if we can be more aware of it in our daily lifestyle, and where do we want to be, which one is the best, busy fool, busy intelligent, lazy intelligent, which is the best, which is second best. Mm. So best to worst. So kindly let me know tomorrow or next time when we connect. Okay, on this note, maybe we leave it here then. Thank you all for your participation. Speak soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhaiya.
Hare Krishna.